Welcome back. You know, we bring you to the patio here, and spring is in the air. It was 55 degrees yesterday. There's a little pile of snow hiding over there, and I'd like to kind of kick it to the curb because we're thinking spring. So earlier, I think it was last week, I actually visited my buddy Peter Mezitt, and we went to Weston Nurseries, and we talked about getting your garden beds ready for spring. Here's a look at some of the tips that he had for us. So Peter, it was a hard winter. I think people ready, obviously, to start cleaning up their flower beds, but honestly, I don't even know where to start.
It has been a tough winter. This was brutal, and people are chomping at the bit, I can tell you. And they're going to come out to something that looks kind of like this. With branches down and broken branches still on trees, and just messy shrubs in general. But don't be discouraged.
Okay. So talk me through. Where do I start? I mean, I've got a rake in my hand. I'm looking.
Well,
at
there's a lot of good exercise involved. You got to do the pickup, get the stuff out of the way.
We're burning some calories. Very nice.
Let the kids help if you can, and then you got to get out and you got to cut your ornamental grasses back to about 8 inches off the ground, and they'll push up through that pretty quickly.
Now, is the timing of this important, by the way, when you do go to prune or cut something back? Do you want to do it sooner than later?
Late winter, early spring is a perfect time to prune a lot of things, but the rule of thumb is you don't want to prune something that's about ready to bloom.
Okay.
So your early spring blooming plants, like your forsythia and your azaleas, and even your large leaf rhododendrons, you'll just be cutting the buds off.
Oh,
you won't have any flowers. So you got to kind of know the plants, and you got to kind of know when to prune now, when to wait until end of spring, beginning of summer to prune.
All right, so how much cleanup does something like this require? Is it a simple trim back, or do you need to get in there and pull out all the dead pieces?
It's a pair of head shears or pruners, and it's just a matter of getting in there and doing a little elbow muscle.
Okay, a little elbow muscle. I like it. And I mean, you've got a couple different types or varieties.
Grasses,
yeah.
Right.
And I mean, this one right here, do you need to fluff it up? Where does this process start?
This one got matted down by snow all winter, so you need to fluff it up and cut off. Even the green, I get it right down to halfway into that green right here.
Really?
Let it push back up through. It's only green because the snow was such a good insulator. It kept the soil temperatures moderate and the plants stayed green.
I will admit, though, I'm surprised to see that nice lush green in there. I mean, this coming off of more than 2 feet of snow, so that's incredible that that can hang on.
We all like to see this time of year.
We do. I mean, what about the mulch? Because the mulch is a little matted down at this point, and my instinct is to go in and just pile it up, but you say don't do that.
So people tend to have that instinct, and they put a little more mulch, 2 to 3 inches on every year, and it does rot down. You can see this has turned into some pretty good soil here. But oftentimes, mulch just builds up over the years. And you want to think about actually scraping some out now and then before you apply it again. Or you don't have to apply every year, always.
Okay. All right, great point. And, as we look behind us here, we do have one of your trees, and there is a certain time of the year for what, birch and maple?
Yeah, birch and maple are probably an exception to the late winter, early spring pruning. They bleed, so you want to wait on those. Everything else you can pretty much prune. Again, as long as it's not ready to bloom right around the corner. You don't want to prune a magnolia right now because that's going to bloom in April. Wait on that one too. But most things you can prune now, and they like it because they recover quickly with new growth right after the pruning.
Okay, how about any big mistakes, any big no-nos that you just need to put out there for people as they think about pruning and cleaning up the flower beds?
You just need to know how to do it, and when you prune, you don't want to cut too far into the trunk area. You want to leave a little bit of a stub of the branch left.
Don't wound that tree, right?
Don't wound it.
All right, we got a lot to go with here. Looking forward to seeing everything in bloom soon enough, right?
Same here, yes.
All right, good stuff. And of course, standing out here in the 30s, it is so wonderful to think about things in bloom. And the great news is Weston Nurseries and Peter, he's going to be here next week, and we're going to be doing a little bit of a redo for a patio. So no more winter display. It's going to turn into a world of spring. So something to look forward to. Back inside to you.